NASCAR Cup racing just went back to North Wilkesboro for the first points-paying race there in 3 decades, and one driver made sure nobody was going to forget it. He led over 300 laps, broke his own personal record in the process, and had to hold off a hard-charging Denny Hamlin to get it done. If you're a NASCAR fan, you need to hear how this one played out. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation News is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. Joey Logano was the man to beat at North Wilkesboro, and honestly, nobody could beat him. The Team Penske driver led 323 of the 450 laps on his way to a dominant victory. That's his first win of the 2026 season, and it's also a new personal best for him. He now holds the record for most laps led in a single race, topping his previous mark of 309 laps set back at Martinsville in 2018. This win was Logano's 38th career Cup victory, and it did more than just add another trophy to the case. It also vaulted him above the chase cut line. But Logano didn't have it easy at the end. Denny Hamlin, driving the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, was doing everything he could in the closing laps to run him down. Hamlin tried it all, but he just couldn't get to the number 22 Ford. After the race, Logano took his son Hudson for a celebratory ride, and he opened up about what the win meant to him. A win anywhere at this point would have sounded great, Logano said. Coming here to North Wilkesboro is awesome. I picked up a passenger on the backstretch. What a great car. Paul Wolfe, what a great car he put together for us today. Just was able to execute a smooth place. Everyone on pit road did a good job. Engine and Roush Yates was good. It's good to get back into victory lane. It's been a tough year. So getting the Shell Pennzoil Mustang doing some big smoky donuts around this place felt really good. You know, when a driver talks about it being a tough year and then gets to do donuts in victory lane, that tells you something about how much this one mattered. So who else made it into the top 10? Chase Briscoe crossed the line 3rd, Ty Gibbs finished 4th, and Shane van Gisbergen matched his career best oval finish, coming home 5th. Rounding out the top 10 were Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski, Todd Gilliland, Daniel Suarez, and Ryan Preece. And speaking of Gilliland, he's still alive in the $1 million in-season challenge. He knocked out Chase Elliott to advance to the finals, where he'll now face Ryan Blaney, who beat Christopher Bell on Sunday. Now let's break down how this race actually unfolded, stage by stage. Stage 1 started with a bit of a delay while crews finished drying the track after storms rolled through earlier. Pole sitter Ryan Blaney should have led the field to green, but his team had to fix a power steering issue, sending him to the rear of the field before the race even started. That meant it was Christopher Bell and Ty Gibbs on the front row instead, and Gibbs took control early, dominating the first portion of the 450-lap race. Ross Chastain had a rough start too, needing to serve an early pass-through penalty after failing inspection 3 times on Saturday. That dropped him off the lead lap. The first caution came out for Nemechek, who spun with some help from Smith. Most of the field pitted under that yellow, though a few cars gambled on 2 tires. Hamlin was the only driver who chose to stay out entirely. During that pit cycle, Larson collided with Zilisch while trying to exit his pit stall, bending his right front wheel and forcing him to pit again. On the restart, Van Gisbergen jumped out front and quickly set a new personal record for laps led on an oval. He even had a little fun with his team over the radio about it. But at the end of the stage, he got passed for the lead on the very last lap. Ty Gibbs took stage 1, just ahead of Van Gisbergen. Logano, Hamlin, Hocevar, Bell, Elliott, Briscoe, Cindric, and Byron routed out the top 10 for the stage. Moving into stage 2, things shifted fast. During the stage break, race leader Gibbs was hit with a big penalty for speeding on pit road. That handed control back to Logano, but only briefly, since Van Gisbergen took the lead again on the restart. About 35 laps later, though, Logano moved back in front and started to drive away. Around the halfway point of the stage, Bell kicked off a round of green flag pit stops. While being lapped by Logano, Allmendinger pushed too hard, slid into the outside wall, and broke his right rear toe link. He became the first driver out of the race. Then, in the middle of that green flag cycle, Bowman tried to cut down onto pit lane right as Reddick was there. The two collided and both spun into the pit road entrance, which caused Daniel Suarez to swerve back out onto the track to avoid them. The timing of that caution completely wrecked a top 5 run for Chase Elliott, and it also hurt Bell, Buescher, Byron, and Cindric. After the waiver rounds, only 15 cars remained on the lead lap. On the next run, Berry spun with some help from Bell and slammed the wall. Berry's damage was too much, and he was done for the day. That caution did give Gibbs a break though, letting him get back onto the lead lap via the free pass. From there, the rest of the stage ran caution-free, with Logano putting several cars 2 laps down. Right at the end of the stage, he even caught up to 3 Hendrick Motorsports drivers who barely avoided going 2 laps down themselves. Logano won stage 2, well ahead of Hamlin, Briscoe, Wallace, Van Gisbergen, Hocevar, Keselowski, Blaney, Gilliland, and Suarez. T. Dillon picked up the free pass, running 15th, now into the final stage. And Logano just kept rolling. With about 125 laps to go, he started reporting a sticking brake pedal, but it didn't slow him down much. Hamlin, running second, stayed a bit closer during this stretch than he had for most of the race. There was a group of cars 2 laps down that had stayed out at the end of stage 2, hoping to catch a quick caution after taking the wave around. That gamble didn't pay off, and they ended up being the first drivers to make their final pit stops under green. Hamlin made his final green flag stop with 90 laps remaining, and Logano answered right back. Once the stop cycled through, Hamlin stayed close as the two worked through heavy lap traffic. With 15 laps to go, Herbst was working hard to hold up Logano out front, which actually helped Hamlin close the gap quickly. But in the end, Hamlin couldn't find a way past. He crossed the line second as Logano sealed the win for Team Penske. The entire final stage ran caution-free, and by the checkered flag, only 6 cars remained on the lead lap. After the race, Hamlin shook Logano's hand, giving him credit for a genuinely impressive run. So here's my question for you guys. With Logano now above the Chase cut line after this win, how much do you think this performance changes his outlook for the rest of the season? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the NASCAR Nation news community. We'll see you in the next one.